Hey y'all, it's Rachel Atwood, and I'm here to give you a little pep talk, because you have got to know what's going on and what your rights are and what these businesses' rights are, because apparently the news is never going to get it right. So all of these new orders, you guys, they're not enforceable, they're not legal, they do not hold the weight of law. Let's start from the beginning. Do you remember the Supreme Court ruling against our illustrious governor? The Supreme Court struck down as unconstitutional what she was doing. She was unilaterally attempting to control the state by bypassing the legislature, and how she was doing it was wrong, and what she was doing was wrong. That has been struck down. Then, fast forward, she hands down those same decrees to a lesser form of government within the executive branch, meaning the health department. The health department has even less authority to do what she did, even less. And the legislature is not going along with this. They are not. They don't support it. We have news stations that are reporting that our legislature has been in communication with the governor and that they support what she's doing. No, they don't. They have come out and said no. She did not confer with them before having that press conference. She did not run any of this by them. It is not supported by them, and it won't be supported by them. Now, our health department, first of all, they say they have these emergency powers that they can use under MCL 333.2253, but guess what? We're not in a state of emergency. We are not in a state of emergency, people. They can't do jack crap. So what they're doing right now, not a thing. And within here, it also says there's got to be an epidemic going on. You guys, we don't even have an epidemic status here in Michigan. So the health department, no, they do not have the authority to do what they're doing. And the law that they're relying on right here, what's in MCL 333.2253? What's in there? This public health code gives the director of MDHHS some extra authority. What does it actually give him? What does it give? It says that they can prohibit the gathering of people for any purpose. First of all, we're not in a state of emergency. We don't have an established epidemic. And that is in direct violation of our First Amendment rights. The fact that this is even allowed to be in our laws is ridiculous. So no one in our government is allowed to prohibit the gathering of people for any purpose or any reason, because that's in direct violation of our First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, which protects the right to freedom of assembly. You can have people over for Thanksgiving, as many people as you want. Our government cannot tell you what to do in your own home. That is just a big fat nothing burger. Not a thing. Second thing that they can do, apparently, if we're in a state of emergency, which we're not, is they can establish procedures to be followed to enforce health laws. They can only enforce health laws that exist. They don't get to create new ones. Only the legislative branch has the power to do that. And our governor is attempting to pressure the legislature to sign her illustrious decrees into law. They are not doing it. So our health department can't create these new mandates. They can only enforce existing laws that are on the books. None of this is on the books. Do we have any law that says a restaurant cannot be open right now? Is there any law saying that high schools and colleges have to be closed? No. Is there any law saying that you must mask while in public? There is no such laws on the books. Our health department can only enforce what already exists. They don't get to make things up as they go along. They are not the legislative branch. They are part of the executive branch. And I'm sorry, but the governor can't just use the peons underneath her to do the exact same thing our Supreme Court has struck down. Not a thing. And they can also establish procedures to make sure essential public health services continue. That means they can ensure services that already existed before can continue. What would that look like? Maybe providing pregnancy tests, providing education, mandating and forcing places to close is not ensuring the continuation of a public service. It's a public disservice. That's what that is. Ridiculous. So what do? You want to know, okay, it's unlawful, it's unenforceable. What do? You stop complying. You call those small businesses and let those small businesses know they need to stay open and that you will give them their business. I have already started calling small businesses today, encouraging them to stay open on Wednesday, because I will go out to eat and I will bring my friends and family with me to go eat somewhere on Wednesday night if they choose to stay open. And you need to do the same. We need to empower these businesses. And these businesses, guess what? If you are a business owner and you are told you are to close, you ignore it. You ignore the health department. You ignore them. Let's say they send you a fine. Don't pay it. Don't pay it. You don't have to. Because if it makes it to court, guess what? No, it's not a thing. Are you worried that you're not going to be able to afford to fight this? My gosh, start a GoFundMe. Start a GoFundMe. We will support you. We will keep you in business. If you stay open, we will support you. And we already have case precedent set in this state. Do you remember Carl the Barber? Do you remember how that turned out? Unanimously in his favor. That was even during when we had the state of emergency. And he refused to close his doors. And they took away his license. Guess what? They take away your license. They take away your liquor license. You ignore them and you continue your business as usual. They can say, they can threaten all they want. And guess what? Those are empty threats. Empty. And if you end up needing to go to court over it, you bet your bottom dollar we got your back. So people, what do? We know there's no law that supports what's going on. We already have case precedents set for the state of Michigan by Carl the Barber, knowing that small businesses cannot be forced to close. They may not come and take away your license. What do? We support them. We call these small businesses that are under attack. They know this is not going to be just 3 weeks. This is going to be 3 months. This is going to be for who knows how long. Find those small restaurants and you call them and you give them your support and you tell them, we support you. Stay open. We will show up. We will eat at your establishment. You call that small movie theater. You call that bowling alley. Now, do you call your schools? You guys, honestly, they are just receiving a bunch of tax dollars no matter what they do. The schools are a lost cause. I am in this to save our small businesses. Our public schools will continue to exist. Our public schools are being run by superintendents that have no intention of looking out for the best interests of our kids. They are going to be getting their paycheck no matter what, but you know who won't? The owners of that bowling alley in Hudsonville. The owners of Florentine's restaurant in Granville. These businesses will cease to exist if we do not step up right now. So not only do you need to support them, you reach out, but then you show up. Wednesday, I am looking for a restaurant, and I will be there with my family. I will bring my friends, and I will eat there. This is how we rise up. This is how we show her. This is what we do with tyranny. We ignore it. You do not comply. You support these businesses, and we say no more. No more. You want to know what I have to say about MDHHS with their whole 333.2253? This is what I have to say. It's bull. It's nothing. It is not legal. And the only reason they currently hold any power is because you're giving it to them. The only reason our health department and our governor has been able to completely overtake this state to put it into a communist social piece of crap is because we've allowed it to happen. No more. You scream to your legislators. You contact your representatives. You call them. And you say no more. Enough is enough. Our small businesses matter in this community. Our schools matter in this community. The health of my children matters, which is why I will not mask them. I will not. We cry out. We say this must end and we stand up. That is how we stand up. So you make a phone call, do an email. If you need help finding that email, let me know. And if you know what restaurant is going to be open in your area, you spread the word to your friends and you show up. You tip the biggest tip of your entire life to that server. You support that business and you send people their way. This is how we begin to fight back. I know we're tired and I know we're weary, but we must lift up these small business owners or there will be none left in this state. It will not be 3 weeks. We know how it begins. It starts little. It's only going to be a few weeks. The shutdown, if you all obey me, then maybe we'll be able to get back to life. Nope, that is a lie. That is a lie straight from the devil. This is more than just a battle against flesh and blood. We are battling for the very soul of our nation and the very soul of this state. And the world and the nation is watching Michigan right now. We will set the precedence for freedom. We will be the ones that rise up and we show them what we do with tyranny. Be brave, have courage. You speak the truth and you speak it in love to your fellow Michiganders and to your business owners. We will not stand for this. We, the people, we are ready to rise up and we will show this government that we, the people, are in charge. They serve us. Our legislature needs to grow a pair. They should have impeached her months ago. They are only just now serving the articles of impeachment. I applaud that. Thank you. But where were they 2 months ago? Where were you? Where were you when Michigan needed you? When the Supreme Court handed you on a silver platter everything you needed legally to impeach this dictator? Where were you? Were you sleeping? Were you worried about what the voters were going to say? Well, we put you back in office. We spoke. Tyranny needs to leave our state now. This is our voice. We demand an audit of this election. We demand a full audit of every ballot in this state. We demand that you stand up with us and you say no more. This is not a thing. This health department needs to go. These people need to go to jail. Law enforcement, we're calling on to you. Do not enforce these unconstitutional orders. Don't you dare show up and put locks on any doors. Don't you dare serve any fines or arrests. Law enforcement, we need you. We back the blue, but the blue needs to back us. Enforce the law, not tyranny. When we do this, when we rise up, things will change in this state. Things will change in this nation. I will not stop fighting. Restore Freedom will not stop fighting. Join me. Call a small business and you go out to eat on Wednesday night. Let's show them how we the people respond to this nonsense. It ends when we say it ends.